G'day folks, I'm just going to run through with you in this short tutorial how you can share your Google Drive folders or files or documents with somebody by giving them permission settings that not only make it either private to them, or you can make it even public on the web, available to anybody that has that link. So the advantages of doing that would be in situations that we commonly come across running a digital agency where clients might want to send us photographs for projects, and they share the link with one of the team members directly, but it's not actually viewable by anybody else unless it's been shared with them. So what that means is when we get those access to that folder, we can see the photos there, but then the other team that access it through a different email address don't have the same permission settings, so they can't see it. So you can actually set up your, you can actually share folders and documents. You can make them available and public on the web, which means they don't have the limitations or the restrictions that a private shared link does. The pros and cons of doing that would be, obviously, if you've got sensitive information, I would never advise that you make that public on the web. To be honest with you, it's pretty unlikely that anybody's going to come across that direct URL, but in case they do, they'll in the odd chance that they do, like if it lives somewhere like your wiki or in your intranet or something like that, and somebody actually accidentally stumbles across it, then they may get access to information that's somewhat sensitive. The more likely scenario where you may want to open the sharing settings or the permission settings for a folder would be, like I said before, if you want to share photographs with an organization or with your marketing team or whatever it might be, then you can do that knowing that it's not going to be that critical if it does by chance fall into the lap of somebody that wasn't meant to receive that. So this is Google Drive. I will say as well, there are certainly ways around sharing documents and folders using shared drives, which is a Google Workspace setting. We're not going to go into that today, but essentially within Google Workspace, you have the ability to add groups to a shared drive, and you can add individuals into groups, which enable you to be able to share entire folders with people that have access to that specific group. In this instance, I'm just going to show you simply how you can find a folder or a document. It could be. I'm just going to right-click on this document right here. And you can see as I scroll down, there's a couple of options here. Now, the mistake that a lot of people might make is they might click on Get Link, and then they might email that link. So that is fine, depending on the settings of the document or the folder. Now, if those settings have not been set so that people, for example, outside of your organization can access that document or that folder, then they're not going to be able to view it. So you'll be sending them a link and they won't be able to use it. So that's one option. If you're sending it internally, you've probably got a good chance that you've set it up so that your team can view this folder. If it's somebody external, you can click on the share button right here, and you'll see you'll have some options. Now, currently you can see this is set to anyone on the internet with this link can view. So I can change these settings. I can change them to they can comment, or they can edit, and they can organize the files. So again, I would probably be less hesitant to do this if I'm sharing it with somebody outside of my business. And likewise, if I come back over here, I can also change the settings so I can make it only within my organization, or I can make it restricted. So in this instance here, if I did want to share this with somebody who was outside of my organization, say they were my accountant, or they might be a bookkeeper or a consultant or something like that, or a contractor, I would say anybody with the link. And then over here, you can see I can control what level of permissions they have. Do I just want them to view it? Do I want them to be able to commentate on it? Or do I want them to be able to add things into that folder and organize, shuffle things around? So you've got some options there. So hopefully that clears that up for you. That's pretty much the basic level of how to share and getting your permission settings right within Google Drive for documents and things like that. Again, this is for my drive. This doesn't necessarily relate to the shared drive equation, but again, we'll address that in another tutorial. Thanks, folks. Bye.